It's BudPod 11.
My real name is Bevan.
Imagine.
Yeah, I did know a Bevan at uni. I do know a Bevan.
As in Nye Bevan.
Yeah, it's Bevan.
Yeah, Bevan's boys.
Yeah, Bevan's boys.
Those boys he would sleep with. It's not true.
Yeah.
They were.
We'll start again.
They were people. They were boys under 16 who would work in a mine instead of going to the army.
Yes.
Under 18.
This guy Bevan, it was a t-shirt party at uni where everyone wore white t-shirts and it was like the last day of school, so you signed everyone's t-shirts. I have no memory of this. I must have been hammered. It must have been about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But apparently in this nightclub, I wrote on his t-shirt 9/11/77 terror attacks at rhyme with Bevan on his t-shirt.
Even smashed as a young man.
It's like a 19-year-old.
You're still looking for rhymes. You're still looking for references.
I think I've mentioned 9/11 on nearly every episode I've done so far, and it will stop. It will stop at some point. I promise.
No, well, never forget.
Yeah,
you really took that to heart.
I was thinking last night backstage, just before my show, about how much the comedy industry has changed with regards to having to do so much of your own work and it being more of a freelance thing, and that routine you had a few years ago of like the point of this was no jobs.
Now I have 11 jobs.
You have 11 jobs because you're editing all your videos and stuff like that. And I do wonder if that's how Bin Laden felt when he just wanted to do the attacks, when he was like, I'm having to do these videos, I'm having to send the videos.
The original influencer.
Yeah, it was like, I'm having to send these videos, like front-facing camera videos.
Binfluencer. Binfluencer Laden. That was his full name. When you watch those videos of him in the camo jacket sitting cross-legged doing this, the subtitles were wrong. It should have just been saying, "It's unreasonable to expect me to check my DMs every day."
Yeah. That one friend who's flown into the Pentagon. He's having to do observational stuff, and he's like, I used to just do this in my own living room and it was fine, and now I'm having to like make sure I'm mic'd up and get it all sent out.
Bin Laden putting on a blonde wig he got off Amazon to be his wife in a sketch. It's not what he signed up to Al-Qaeda for. In the 80s, it was different. Yeah. You know, you're on the road.
Yeah, you're on the road. Yeah. You were playing the caves. You were playing the caves.
You were going to Kenya. You were blowing up an embassy. It was something living, you know, not in your room.
Yeah.
Not in your fortified room.
It was the only way he could get an audience in America.
He broke America.
He broke America.
He broke America. We should say we're exercising our right to bear cans.
Yeah, this is our second Tin Laden episode.
The Bin Laden Tin Garden. There's a pub garden in Tora Bora now.
We've only done one episode previously on tins, and that was immediately post Chessington World of Adventures for me. I was just shattered. And here we're emotionally exhausted because we've still got another week left of the Fringe.
Yes, and it's the final week is you sort of do it in a bit of a daze, I think. You get a bit demob happy in the final week and you just sort of barrel through it.
Yeah.
It's branded lager. So if you're watching, it's Monkey Barrel Comedy Fringe Lager.
Which is where we're recording and it's where you're doing your show.
Yes, I've just finished my show, which is why I've got speckles of tit sweat. If I may coin a phrase, a horrible phrase.
Yeah, this
tit
month
sweat speckles
is the one time of the month where I'm frantically rubbing myself down with blue tissue.
Yes. That's what I was just doing in a cave.
Yeah.
Like Bin Laden. Frantically getting the tissue they bring out for vomit and rubbing my tits with it.
Yeah.
The little effect.
It's so different to being on tour. So much of the Fringe is just you frantically backstage as the audience coming in going, why won't I try? I can't go on stage already wet. They won't respect me.
It's like being in an aquarium. There is no air. It's just water and bubbles. That's all there is.
Yeah.
It is like the entire spirit of the Fringe is we'll do it in the barn.
Yes.
That's the point of the Fringe is we'll do it in the barn.
Yeah.
And you can always tell when people are at their first Fringe because they're like, all the chairs were weird and uncomfortable and there was mold everywhere.
And you go, that's intentional.
You go,
what
was the show like?
Yeah.
That's what that's what it's all like.
Cannot believe I feel so tremendously privileged being in a venue that's got those like flip down seats. And you go, fixed seating, rostra.
People want to sit here all year round.
All the chairs are the same as each other.
That's mad.
It's not like I'm on one bar stool and the person next to me is like twice my height. like a boss pulling some weird sort of like alpha move during a job interview. Or I'm having to talk to their shoes.
That's when you interview to be an umpire. The guy interviewing you is in that chair.
Yeah. That's what dating an umpire is like. Yeah.
Yeah, high chairs. It's. What's the maddest venue you've watched a show in or performed in at the Fringe?
I was thinking, is there a way to look up what is the worst Fringe venue? What is the worst? There is one that I'm not sure is still around, but the Three Sisters on Cowgate, which is just this conglomerate, I guess, of just bars.
It's a hostel as well.
Is that what it is the rest of the year?
So it's a hostel, a beer garden, a pub, and a venue. I'm not really sure.
It's unsustainably loud. And when really drunk people go out on a Saturday from 11 a.m., that's the place.
It's so hard to explain the geography as well because it's in a kind of a subterranean alleyway, but it's also an outdoor beer garden.
Yeah.
But you're definitely below ground.
But the venues are upstairs, but they look below ground because they look like a tube tunnel.
And also they are below ground compared to the upstairs of the upper roads of the...
Edinburgh's such a fucking MC Escher painting.
It's like it's insane. It's like a Warhammer 40k.
I don't know how I can walk into Underbelly at ground level, go down 3 flights of stairs, and emerge also at ground level. How's that happened?
I once got to the road I needed to be on by climbing 4 floors through a nightclub and a Chinese restaurant and going out the front door of the restaurant. And then I was also at street level.
It's how I'd frantically make a city in a video game if I was like, I just need to connect these 2 fucking bits. I don't care.
It's like those shots of the shitty bits of King's Landing in Game of Thrones.
Yes, yeah.
They just go, we don't go down to the midden lane.
Yeah, and you go, no one surely wants to live there. It's like Blighttown in Dark Souls.
Yes, yeah.
It's
on a fantasy map, it's always called something like Beggar's Reach.
The Liar's Taint. We've been down to Liar's Taint recently.
I've heard tell of a certain man down in Witch's Tit who's willing to sell for coin.
In the Three Sisters are a number of venues. Some of them are very nice, some of them not so nice. But there was one that was called something like, it can't still be around. This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The Staff Room. And I think it was like a 9-seater. No. And it was just the size of a bathroom. The amount of chairs stressed me out. But what I found really funny was the microphone was in the corner, but behind the microphone was just a table like this. And you go, get rid of the table. Who's this? Like, we're already, space is at such a, like, there's no space.
I once saw a friend of mine do a very good show in a sort of sports pub. And the bit that the show was happening in was a curtained off bit of the pub that was still just busy and full.
Fuck.
And the curtain didn't quite touch the floor. It was just like a shower curtain had been drawn across a random bit of any Weatherspoons, and then a stage and a show. And so people were constantly trying to see if they could sit in the show to order their meal like it was terrible. Three Sisters, that's where Liam Williams did one of his shows on the Free Fringe.
It was in a room just down the hallway from that.
And it's like a 200 capacity room.
Yeah.
It's this massive like zombie cavern. It's a place where in a D&D game you'd find skeletons with like coins in their rib cages.
Yeah, I don't know what it is the rest of the year. It can't be a bar.
I think it's just a nightclub.
Thoroughfare.
It's a thoroughfare. I think it's a nightclub where backpackers go and have like a kind of spooky time. Maybe in winter it's really nice to go into this like body-warmed smog cave.
It's so many of the rooms are bizarre, and what makes me sad is sometimes if I was doing like a 5 minutes gig, 5-minute spot at a compilation show, while backstage you see boxes of props that are for other people's shows, and you're like, someone is doing a play here. Someone's doing a play that they've poured their heart into, and it's going to a maximum of 9 people a day.
And they didn't quite know how the Fringe worked, and they borrowed money from like their aunt, and they've built the props themselves. And your show's on at 8 p.m. And so you've never met them, but you can see there's a big paper mache wave. There's a big paper mache shell. Something's happening in here and a lot of heart's been put into it, and it's eating shit every day.
I really didn't know how the Fringe worked the first time I went up. And this was as a uni student, and I was going up with an improv group. It was called, they were called, uni improv, called the Shrimps, which stood for Sheffield Improv, but I don't know where the R comes in.
Shrimprov?
It's Shimps.
The Shimps.
It was the Shimps.
People who simp for chimps.
People who chimps at the zoo.
People who shush to the chimps.
I'm trying to watch you. I'm trying to watch you eat a banana.
Do you have to be so loud?
Sorry. I don't know why he sounds like he's got a blocked up nose.
Well, they just
Sorry.
they just say sorry in sign language.
Yeah.
They fully understand the problem.
I went along thinking it was like Tea in the Park or something like that. I thought it was like
3 days.
BST. I thought it was like a Hyde Park like festival.
Yeah.
And you perform to 10,000 people, but you do like you run for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And you just have a little set, like in Glastonbury or something like that. Is what I thought it was. And then when I heard we were there for a month, I was like, that's not true. Is it? You've gotten that wrong.
Oh, we do that. We stick around to like make it a holiday.
Yeah, I was like, we were doing 2 weeks, so no momentum for us.
Nope.
But we went up, and when we checked into where we were at, which was Sweetgrass Market, which is a venue that's still going, and still going from strength to strength. But in like 2010 or whatever, we were in a 30-seater conference room, and again, it was like, there's been a big mistake, hasn't there? Because we're on the main stage, aren't we, to the 10,000 people?
Yeah.
In a large park somewhere, I believe.
We're not here at the non-branded Marriott.
And I didn't realize it was real until I saw the person we were sharing a room with checking into their venue space, who is the tap dancer Lionel Blair.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Lionel Blair.
You and Lionel Blair?
Were room buddies.
Sure.
And we were uni improv. If I was him, I would have been furious to have been sharing a space with uni improv.
Yeah,
You'd go,
yeah.
There's been an accident. I'm sorry to take off my cap. There's been a horrible accident and you've made a mistake, haven't you?
I've performed in a church.
Church is always fine. I think churches are always crap acoustically when you think they will be nice, but you go, they're so high ceilinged. They're meant for the organ. Sometimes they're nice. Worcester's the main tour date that people do in Worcester, Huntingdon Hall.
Yes,
I think
nice.
is very nice.
It is nice.
But for the most part, churches are not good acoustically.
They're supposed to be a place to speak without a microphone.
Yes.
Anywhere that's designed to amplify non-amplified sound is shit for talking. So concert halls, churches, any old building. It's bad.
There's just something about a venue like that, and I'm not sure if you have this as well, but when you deliver your punchlines, you tend to say them like this.
That's what I do.
And then I got off the bus.
Garlic bread. I only do that in the Catholic venues.
Of course,
In the Anglican venues, I deliver everything like an Anglican vicar.
Yes, yeah.
When I remember garlic bread, the people who used to eat the garlic bread and they were skeptical of it.
And the Lord would say unto thee, do you remember? Do you remember crisps? What do you mean, do I remember crisps?
Yes, Peter. We should clarify as well for anyone else who's a fan of naughty stand-up comedy and wants to maybe categorize it or explain it faster. We have invented the word Jamember.
Jamember. It is, I think it's
DJ
apostrophe member. Or is it D apostrophe J apostrophe member?
Yeah, and member is MEMBA.
Yes.
Jamember.
Yeah.
And it's, Jamember donkey jackets.
Yeah.
And all that.
What? And it feels more like an Alzheimer's test than a stand-up routine. Do you remember how many fingers I was holding up a second ago?
Do you remember who the Prime Minister is? Yeah. The golden days of Jamember are gone. But at a time, it was the main way that people made money and acquired influence.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I wish you could do that. I wish I could say, "Do you remember this thing?"
But
and leave it there.
I'm too foreign. Like the group of people who I could Jamember is so narrow.
Yeah.
Jamember mid-90s Johannesburg from an incredibly privileged position of living in a house. Yeah, I do. Okay, good.
Hold that thought.
Okay, just hang on a second.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the Isle of Man got a McDonald's in 1999? Yeah, do that, fella. Okay, yes, we're working now. We've got two. Do you remember watching Paramount Comedy on Sky because you had Sky?
Yeah.
Things like this.
Whereas I realised that from my position, you could just be sort of like, "Do you remember Around the Twist?" And everyone goes, and you go, no, tell a joke. Tell a joke. You can't just do that.
You can't just make people remember other jokes.
Yes, yeah.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
A chef doesn't come out and go, "Oh, when was the last time you had McDonald's?" Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, goodbye.
I remember a friend of mine being furious after doing like a new act competition years ago and being in I don't know, semi-finals and only one person was going to go through to the final. And he lost out to an impressionist because the impressionist was like, oh, you all know Michael McIntyre, right? And everyone was like, yeah. And then he just did 5 minutes of Michael McIntyre stand-up. And everyone was like losing their minds. And then he was like, and you're like Rod Gilbert. And then he'd get the initial laugh of, doesn't it sound like Rod Gilbert? But then 5 minutes was just Rod Gilbert telling a story about Clan Bobble or whatever. Yeah. I love that. I love the injustice of that sort of shit. In the early days when you start.
So infuriating.
Yeah.
I did a competition once, a stand-up competition, where the first round, the way it works, listeners, is you'll all enter and there'll be different rounds and like it's either an audience vote or a judge's vote. And, you know, the first round could be 5 minutes, and then it's 7, then it's 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
But this competition was so stringent and unusual. The first round was 90 seconds.
Amuse Moose.
Well, yes.
It's not happening anymore, so I think we're allowed to talk about it.
It's Amuse Moose. But I was so skeptical. I was like, why would you?
You won the whole competition.
I won the big moose in 2013.
Yeah. Did you win the moose?
I won the moose.
What does that mean? You win a moose?
I've got a little moose statue.
Oh, that's nice.
I also, part of the prize was a meeting with the number 2, and then Entertain, which was the DVD making commercial arm of BBC Worldwide, which the year I won it, dissolved. Because no one was buying DVDs in 2013.
I got disqualified from that competition.
What?
I got disqualified in...
Because you entered So You Think You're Funny?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got disqualified in 2013. I got through to the semi-finals, and then I got through I got through to the final. We would have geeked together in the final. And then suddenly the person who ran it rang me up and said, you didn't tell me you were in the final of So You Think You're Funny the previous year. And I was like, well, yeah, just not to blow my own trumpet, but yes, I was, sort of thing. She was going to go, that's amazing, well done. But she was like, yeah, you would have to be in the final of these competitions back in the day. You had to sign a contract that meant you were then like beholden to Universal Studios or whatever.
Yeah.
For if inexplicably in the next 5 years, if you released your own DVD, they had first refusal. Yeah. And you were like, I have 4 minutes of material.
Yeah.
There's no DVD that's coming out.
I'm 20.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yes.
Yeah. So you were tied to Universal.
I was tied to it. So she was like, you cannot possibly be in the final of this.
You cannot be tied to 2 Entertain.
Yeah.
Which, again, I can't emphasize this enough, dissolved. Because no one was making DVDs anymore.
90 seconds
90
in a competition
seconds.
is so funny. That's an insane amount.
That's what I thought.
That's like the sort of first impression you get in Take Me Out. That's you may as well just come down in a big lift and they pop a balloon.
Yeah, but I was skeptical. And then I went through the 90 seconds. And because it's 90 seconds, you can fit in a shitload of people on that evening.
Yeah.
In this basement gig in London. And that's when I first met the comedian Garrett Millerick.
Oh.
It was in the 92nd round of our Amuse Moose 2013. Well, actually, no, I'd met him in a car share, but that was the first time we properly sort of hung out. And we were joking about how like, the 90 seconds, it must be this kind of silly round just to weed out all the crazies. Yeah. That's some of the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I saw some insane stuff.
A guy, like people couldn't take the microphone out of the stand. I saw a guy use his 90 seconds to use the worst possible slur 7 or 8 times from a position of not being able to use it. I will also add.
Dunderhead.
Dunderhead.
He's Dunderhead.
He called everyone and himself Dunderhead.
Hey man, that's our word.
We're wearing caps with D's on.
Yeah.
We're dancers. We're dancers with Dunderheads. Yeah. That's ours. Just the most astonishingly mentally unbalanced people just all got up in a row and spent their 90 seconds doing and saying things that would ruin a politician's career.
I think it's quite unique to London. I did competitions in Sheffield when I lived there, and it was just more normal.
Yeah, the nutter density of London is quite something.
I found if I did like gong shows in Manchester, it would get a bit weird. But London was the absolute weirdest, and I found as well the vigilance they had, the level of mistrust they had around you was like airport security levels. The people running it, because they were like, "Don't you fucking dare do it! Why are you taking off your belt?" And
it was like trying to get into the Pentagon.
Yeah, because I would do like I'd do like an open mic night in London, and you'd go along and you'd sign up, and you're one of 25 people doing it, and they'd say you have 4 minutes of stage time. At minute 3, I'll walk on stage. The compere would walk onto the stage, and over the course of the next 30 seconds, would slowly outstretch his hand. until by the end he was touching a microphone. So at the end, so no matter how well the set is going, you look like you've seized someone's microphone at a political rally, and you're going, oh, by the way, he was recently found on Epstein's Island, you know, like, that's how every gig ended.
So the MC would come on and try and take your microphone as if he was invisible.
Yes, and you'd be like, thank you very much, good night. And you just everyone's words would get cut off, like you're falling off a cliff in a cartoon where you're like, yeah, it's like that.
Psychotic. A terrible way to do anything.
Absolutely.
There's something about that, those competitions that just attracted some of the craziest. I remember I did a round of the total student contest, and there was a lady who, I mean, it was funny, but her act was putting on one of those big horse masks. She was wearing a leotard. She put on a big horse mask and just danced to Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson.
For her post-death, he's dead. He's dead by this point,
he's dead, all right. Yeah, that was it. That was it.
I quite like that. You guys, you've done something.
I think
you've done something with the form.
I think she got through.
Yeah, I remember this guy used to gig with all the time at Open Mic Nights. He was like in his late 80s. Every single night he'd get up and he'd always point at the front row and he'd go, there they are, the Society of the Folded Arms. And everybody wanted to go, what? And he opened with that all the time.
I like it as a line.
Yeah. But it was so like, he'd do it like this every time. Like he'd do it like a merchant in a Final Fantasy game where they're sort of like, well, you better beware, this town smells as bad as a chocobo's behind, whatever. And it makes the main character go, and like take a step back. It makes the main character look like a fucking loser.
Yeah, what is that about?
Why are you such a prude?
What is that about?
You're offended by the words chocobo's behind.
Chocobo's behind. The chocobo sounds like a bad word.
Chocobos are the big birds from the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah. They're like emus, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And nothing smells as bad as their ching behind, you know, and it like zooms in really up close on them.
Horrible.
Yeah.
All those interactions and a lot of those Final Fantasy games, they make me feel really, really angry the whole time.
Yeah, the sort of games where you'd be so you just hope a relative doesn't walk in.
Well,
I'd rather someone call me wanking.
You have very bad luck with that.
Insanely bad luck.
It's really, really funny.
I always found this, if ever you're playing like Zelda, not to do too much of a Button Boys crossover right now.
Yeah.
But if you're playing something like Breath of the Wild or something like that, like you'd almost want someone to walk in as you're sort of like making your way up a mountain and being like, look at this amazing view I found that not every player has found, and look at this discovery, the sheer scale of the world.
Well, they catch you the second you solve a very difficult puzzle.
Yes. And look at the physics they've employed in the game. Whereas instead I'd go to a town and they'd be sort of like, welcome to Lollipop Land. To welcome you, we'll do the lollipop dance. And they go, beep, 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 beep. And they all just do this dance. And they go, you are 11 years old for enjoying this. And you're like, shut up, shut up, shut up. And it's getting louder and louder, but no matter how much I turn the TV down, it's like getting louder and louder. Lollipop, lollipop. And you're shut up. Shut up, shut up. Why are you saying lollipop like that? No adult says lollipop. It would happen. I could be playing fucking Wolfenstein and it would be a lollipop dance. No, shut up.
I watched my sister and my brother-in-law showed me this game where I cannot remember what is it called? It's one of those things that is like Final Fantasy, but it's blades. Characters are called blades.
Is it Xenoblade Chronicles? Is it something like that?
Yeah, maybe. And like you can be a blade.
Right.
And it's like a turn-based combat thing with a party of blades. But one of them is just like, it's the kind of thing you'd accuse someone of liking to offend them. Like you
seem like the sort of person who'd enjoy blank. Yeah.
Oh, do you like this? Is this what you like?
Yeah.
And it's a rabbit woman. She's got like big rabbit paws and like big rabbit ears.
Yeah.
And like, if you did a silly caricature of what you thought Kim Kardashian's body looked like, that's what her body looks like.
Yeah.
Like massive tits and bum and tiny waist.
The insane sexualization in JRPGs is so grossly uncomfortable. But also I'm sort of like, is it problematic for me to criticize that?
I don't like how close it is to the Lollipop Land dance.
Right, yes, exactly.
I think you need to pick if you're for adults or not.
Yeah.
Whereas when they go like...
when they dance, they go, we're kids, wanna fuck? You're like, what? No.
Welcome to Marshmallow Village, where everyone is double F knocker. Like just, what? It's like this combination of like fucking Elf and, page 3 of The Sun.
Welcome to the little village where all the rabbits have huge tits. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What exact, very specific type of businessman is this for?
Yes, yeah. And it's as transparent as Quentin Tarantino is around feet. We all know.
And it's so much further than just something that is, as Dara O'Brien, I think, he didn't coin the term, but he popularized it, I think, something for the dads.
Yes.
So you could go, I see, this is a kid's video game, Lollipop Land, fine. But they've made a few characters a little, because the parents are, like sometimes you get a very adult joke snuck into kids shows.
Yeah.
But it's so far beyond that it looks a lot more like cartoon porn that they've also made quite babyish.
Yeah.
And that's what creeps me out. Creeps me out about it.
Because we've spoken before about the Captain Pugwash stuff, obviously.
Yes, Which apparently is mainly an urban myth.
No, they did have, it was the fuck bosun, wasn't it?
And the cum lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a joke.
Sex Peter.
They had Sex Peter.
Just someone called Sex Peter.
Yeah,
so Salt Peter, but yeah.
Which is supposed to be the man on board the ship responsible for the sextant. For navigation.
Yeah.
The Sex Peter.
Yeah.
It's a very, very neutral term.
There was, a mid-shitman who was just constantly mid-shit.
Yeah.
And for some reason that's sexual.
In the modern Navy, he's called the Turtlingman. Here's a joke I came up with today. I was hanging out with Paul the tour manager Paul.
Yes, yeah.
And Sam Lake.
Uh-huh.
We were all hanging out. And the joke I came up with was, and I was trying to think of who I could sell this to. I think, I can't use, you come up with a good joke and you think, but I can't use this. Yeah. I thought maybe you could use this. Okay. Maybe.
Right, yeah. Right. Where are you going with this?
The other day I got so this is the joke.
I'm always really ready to be sort of like, so this Indian guy walks into it and I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah.
Glenn will like this.
You'll do.
Yeah, Glenn will do this on tour, not on camera.
Sick in the head.
Sick in the head stuff. So you say, the other day I got a hand job off a close-up magician. Is this your cum? Is that good?
It's really scary.
Yeah, okay,
I think
good.
It's a scary joke.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because it's such an aggressive image.
Audiences should be scared, yeah?
Yeah, it's actually a terrifying image.
Yeah.
Like I had this horrible image years ago of it was a bully just shoveling handfuls of turds down like your trousers going, why are you shitting yourself? Why are you shitting yourself? It's that you go, that's so aggressive that it's scary, isn't it?
Handfuls. I don't like
where's
that.
he getting from? From a bag?
Yeah, from his.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
No.
I'm absolutely smashing my way through this Fringe lager.
Yeah, do you want another one?
I will have another one. It's only 4%.
What do you mean only? What do you have?
Well, so many lagers when you see them on taps and stuff. John Robbins has done this to me from Ellis and John years ago. He would always talk about how most lagers are like 5 or 6% or between the two. And the difference between having like a 3% IPA and a 5.5% lager is huge.
Oh yeah, it's enormous. Yeah. Have you ever had? Have you ever been an absinthe man?
I drank it at uni when people would buy it as a sort of joke.
Never had it.
It just tastes like mouthwash.
Yeah, I just don't see I'm like, if you enjoy it, there's a problem.
I think all that stuff about like, there were all these urban myths about it, like, oh, you drink absinthe, you hallucinate, and you see the green fairy and all this kind of stuff. And it had this big reputation, I think, in sort of La Belle Époque Paris. Like Paris. It's just strong booze. It's just the only strong booze they had. Yeah,
I think as well, I was like, you're right. I know you were having hallucinations, but also you were drinking from the Parisian waters.
Yeah.
I always found that funny about like the curse of Tutankhamun.
Yeah.
The curse of Tutankhamun, where they're sort of like, all these people who died after finding Tutankhamun's tomb, and they're like, why did all of these white British guys who drank from the Nile all fart themselves to death shortly after encountering Tutankhamun?
They went to the tomb and they shit themselves inside out like big jellies.
What happened?
It must be
they kept sipping from the Nile directly. What could it have been?
They just went to the places with the most diseases and mosquitoes and diseased water and no plumbing. And somehow they shit themselves to death.
Fucking Howard Farter over here.
Because of an... Very nice. Very nice. In terms of misheard lyrics or changed lyrics?
Yes.
all day today, walking around my sister's flat singing, pink slimy grubs. I'm going to keep on eating all these big slimy grubs.
What animal are you in this?
I'm me, but
You're you, but you're having big grubs. I couldn't identify a grub if I saw one.
They just look
I know witchy grubs, but I've never seen a grub.
like a lava. That's what they look like.
I had Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds one ages ago. Just one line of picture yourself motorboating Joan Rivers.
I'm going for a depressing Weatherspoons.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna keep on drinking in this old this old grimy pub. I'm gonna keep on drinking.
Yeah, in this former cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, a cinema that looks like it was in BioShock. That's the Weatherspoons. Yeah.
It looks like they've turned a villain's lair from an 80s sci-fi film into a pub.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I think
high ceilings.
I've never had absinthe. I'm trying to think of what reactions to alcohol have been my strongest in my life. And I was saying this to someone the other day that I did you ever have Lambrini? It was like a cheap version of wine. It's like you can still probably get it in off licenses.
And isn't it like 9% or something quite low?
Yeah, I think so. But then there was a knockoff version. Lambrini is knockoff wine, but there was a knockoff version of Lambrini called Cassini, which I had at uni once, and I think it had 2 bottles. I remember watching Princess Mononoke upside down, as in my bum was on the sofa and my head was on the floor,
right? And
I was watching the Studio Ghibli film. And then my next memory is the Guitar Hero guitar was in my hands and I was trying to play Guitar Hero upside down. I've no memory of this. And then I woke up on the kitchen table in our kitchen. Right. I've since had wine. I love wine.
Yeah.
That experience of this cheap tasting Cassini wine was so bad that since then I've not been able to have cider.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the flavor I can't have.
The wine was so bad it made you hate cider. That's
and I haven't drunk cider to this day.
It's so acidic.
The smell makes me really almost retch.
I had that with white wine for a while. I think it's anything acidic because you're essentially just drinking what your vomit's going to be like later. It's so acidic.
You're pre-vomiting. Yeah.
Quick pre-vomit before we go out. Yeah. Well, speaking of pre-vomit, we should do some correspondence.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it's some wackaging from Phil.
Okay. I'm crawling back, have you? Wang.
He'll get on any way he can.
Hang on a second, this text message is wearing a false moustache.
This email comes right off. Wackaging from Phil. Hi, Pierre and Glenn. Praise redacted for a new glorious era of colonization and anti-murder podcasting. Or colonization, of course. I recently learned that there's a scheduled private pet air charter that allows the owners and dogs to sit in the cabin and offers, quote, social media experiences on board.
So I'm guessing that's photo ops for you and your pet on board this small
I
jet.
will say, if you take an EasyJet flight or a Wizz Air flight to the right location, you'll get quite a lot of social media experiences on board. But it will be you panicked filming a fist fight in the aisle. So, intrigued by the ungodly amount of money pissed up the wall by this canine class of travel, I looked up the airline. And it's called Airbark. So
man.
I haven't really tried for that.
Yeah, imagine if they were like, it's German Wings. They're still called German Wings.
It's called German Wings. It's called German Wings. They're trying to dog away the whole suicidal crash. Yeah. Airbark. Can we do better than that?
Airbark doesn't mean anything, does it? It's not, is that about Airbud? Is that like Airbark? You go, what's that a pun on? There's no...
Dog wings, dog flight.
Okay, there's got to be something.
Dog flight. Air kennel.
British airspace, if you had the dog spade.
That's a condition of boarding. They check. The experience included getting a spa treatment for the dog in flight, but not the owner. A shoe served on a platter by the flight attendants.
What?
So, I guess for the dog to chew. Or for the owner to have a wank over.
Yes,
It's a particularly sexy shoe. Maybe.
Yeah. Just one stiletto heel. And some tights for you, sir, to wank into.
And
what for the dog?
A guy with a big bib and a knife and fork. Bring out the shoe.
Yeah. And do they bring it out and you go, what's this got to do with a dog? We go, not the dog. We just assumed if you're doing this, you're already mental. We just assumed you wanted other mental things.
They bring it out and they go, is this for the dog? And they go, dog?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
no.
There shouldn't really be a dog here.
No, that's a mistake. And culminates in allowing the dog to visit the cockpit in flight over the Atlantic to meet the pilot and take a selfie with them.
Who gains?
Tragedy today as Bark Air was brought down by an XL bully taking control of the plane. Just biting biting the altimeter and just fucking...
Yeah. Apparently the dog had a box cutter on it.
The dog had actually spent several months at a training camp.
Yeah, it's like Leica. Terrorist Leica.
The first dog to do a terror attack.
Yeah.
Leica, the terror dog.
Like, if you're working in the North Tower and you look out and you're like, there's a plane flying towards, and there's a dog in the car.
Is that a dog? Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. It's just Air Bud with planes. Ain't nothing in the rules that says a dog can't fly a plane into the World Trade Center.
It only says here we can't let humans hijack the plane. Yeah. I don't know why they wrote the law like that. Yeah. It should have just said hijacking is not allowed, but for some reason it says humans cannot hijack the
With
plane.
United 93, they were like, well, passengers must have overcome the pilot, must have overcome the terrorist to fly the plane into a jet. No, it just turns out that's what happens when a dog tries to fly a plane, it will crash into a field.
If it went on for long enough, you'd have, like terriers are very good for hunting rats.
Yeah.
A dachshund, that's German for badger hound.
Yeah.
They're just for hunting badgers. Poodles are French hunting dogs for ducks and water. That's why they have curly hair, because they're waterproof.
What?
That's all true.
Wow, I always thought it'd be so funny imagining a poodle in the wild. I was like, oh, they're so bred that they couldn't possibly exist.
Just for waterfowl hunting, yeah. Because they've got curly waterproof hair. And of course, terror dogs. They're very good at taking rucksacks into places. They're very good at flying planes. A dog to visit the cockpit in flight over the Atlantic to meet the pilot and take a selfie with them. I read one review from a blogger that said all the dogs came back shaking from the cockpit experience.
What happened?
Because it was proof to the dogs that they weren't just in a tube. They don't know where they are. They don't know they're transported.
Oh, man. I had this when you and I were on the plane to our good friends Alex and Mari.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alex of having previously co-hosted BudPod.
Yes, Alex Keeley, the comedian.
when they got married last summer.
Yeah.
And we took this minuscule plane from Glasgow to the place we were going to.
It was sort of in the Highlands and Islands, and it was a size of plane that I have flown in before because Isle of Man.
Isle of Man, yeah.
But from all the passenger seats, you could still see out the cockpit window.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't close the door. The pilot is the one who basically gives the air safety checks and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it immediately acquires a level of seriousness it's never had before.
Yes, you're
because
like, this is...
The guy in charge of the plane is turning around and saying, do your fucking seatbelts up.
Yeah. But because they leave the cockpit door open, you can see out the front. And I'd never had this before while landing. I've never seen the plane land from first-person perspective before. And you really don't realize until you're in that situation how much the plane is moving about just before it lands. Yeah. And it's really scary.
And also, as it goes into land, the entire cockpit is the ground. Like through the window.
Yes.
There's not like, oh, you land at quite a soft angle. There's always a bit of sky horizon.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting
just tarmac and green. And you go, we're going to go in at a fucking 90-degree angle and die.
You're getting the full experience of what it would look like just before crashing. It's crazy. Great. Yeah.
But
we got to meet the pilot.
We did get to meet the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a dog. To my abject horror, not only did one-way flight cost over $8,000 for a one-way flight. That's to put off the terrorism, I guess, if it's one-way. But they used twee wackaging on their website. Then to make matters worse, the FAQ is written from the dog's perspective.
Okay, I hate wackaging, but on this occasion, I'm like, in for a penny, in for a pound. You can't have normal packaging on this, can you? You can't be like, this is for the dog's benefit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so convoluted are some of the twee answers, they have to provide a human speak section directly below to translate it. Below are some of the highlights of the K9 customer service from their website, which of course is written by Amelia, the CFO, K9 flying officer. Ho, ho. So,
K911. We've got to start this conspiracy theory going. In 1993 was just dogs took over.
It was all done by dogs. K911 is very good stuff. It's the last week of the Fringe, but we're still firing. We're still sharp. Are carriers or crates required? For humans, maybe. For dogs, definitely not. If you're more comfortable in a carrier, you're welcome to bring one. Blah, blah, blah. If you think you can fly the plane, we'll talk to the pilot and see what we can do.
That's fine. Like, what's this for? Well, you're just wasting our time. Give me rules or don't give me rules.
Yeah, I'm booking this. I'm a person.
Yeah.
What's
the
happening?
boxes for adults thing is bullshit. There's something that you encounter a lot in playgrounds around the UK that you think is wackaging but isn't, which is all children must be accompanied by an adult.
Yeah.
And when you first read it, you go, oh, very funny. Yeah, all children must be accompanied by an adult. Or like, no. All adults must be accompanied by a child, sorry.
Yeah.
So when you read that, you're like, oh, very funny, because adults aren't responsible. And you go, oh, yes, I forgot. Adults aren't responsible. Yes, certain adults.
Yeah.
It's imperative. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You weren't joking. That was it. Read twee. It's not twee.
This is one of those pedo-only signs. Will you require any training for dogs prior to flying? Humans aren't required to train to board a plane, although they probably should be. Flying with us is similar to hanging in a dog park, a dog-friendly cafe, or a friend's house.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Yeah, well, I can't crash screaming to the earth in a ball of fire at my friend's house. That's a big difference I can think of. Are there any minimum age requirements for humans to book a flight? Your human must be at least 18 years old. Gross. What documentation? Your human
I imagine they
needs
must get so many like 9-year-old kids of billionaires trying to book
on
their own. Yeah,
Richie Rich.
Absolute Richie Rich behavior.
What about leashes? Ugh, the L word. That's what it says.
Probably think of at least one worse L word. I don't know what.
Much like seatbelt rules in any standard flight, we must remain on leash while on the tarmac. It'd be very funny to watch a terrier leap into a jet engine while it was idling.
Yeah. But is there a point where halfway through the flight, a little electronic image of a dog collar goes bing, and it just turns off, and you go, oh, I guess, yeah, off you go.
Feel free to run around and, I guess, fuck the other passengers. God's sake. On the tarmac, yes. During taxiing, takeoff, and landing, yeah. What can we bring on board? Are there luggage limitations? Isn't bringing you enough? Humans are so needy.
Yeah. Do you want accommodation at the other end or not?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to bring any change of clothes. I've got my dog and I'm going to New York.
Yeah, that should be the biggest red flag for security is a person turns up with no luggage whatsoever, nothing to go to, like anything in your pockets you want to put through security? No, just me.
No, just me and 7 dogs.
Yeah.
Can we go to the cockpit? Yeah. You know what? Yeah. That's what I think.
Are these dogs storing drugs because they're all barking at themselves?
They're barking at each other in a sort of infinite circle of concern. We also got some tap from Joe.
Okay.
Hello, Pierre and Glenn. On a recent trip to York with my 3 brothers, we took an amble down a tourist street, very busy tourist street. The place was blatantly trying to rip off Diagon Alley. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of that in the UK.
Yeah, I think I know which one. I think I know which street.
One of the shops had the largest gathering of tat I've ever seen in the wild, outside of shops like B&M or The Grange, where hope goes to die.
Does it look like it's giving directions on either side?
Ooh, it's...
Is that almost a signpost? Because if so, I've seen it and I've got a picture of it.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It is a sort of wooden signpost. So it's tat like, saw it, ... liked it, told Gran and Grandad, got it. What does that mean?
I don't know. If you see anything suspicious on TfL London Underground, saw it, say
Saw
it, bought it for Nan and Grandad.
Saw it, liked it, Gran and Grandad got it. Sorry, can you check on the conductor? I think they're having a stroke. A wooden sign you can buy. I'm sorry, my give a shit fairy just died.
What are we doing? My give a shit fairy just died. But what relation is that to you?
Right, so you could only give a shit because a fairy gave you the power to give a shit.
Yeah.
And now it's dead.
So you no longer have empathy.
Could you get another one?
Yeah.
Boobs. Proof that men can concentrate on 2 things at once. That's not really how plurals work.
No.
I can concentrate on sand on a beach. Doesn't mean I'm concentrating on 8 trillion things at once, does
That's
it?
what it should say.
Yeah.
Sand. Proof that men can focus on more than 1 trillion things at once.
Very good. But what's that for?
Yeah.
It's for what all the other ones
You're
are
the
for.
sandy man in your life. You know the man who always looks out to sea, threatening to go in at night?
Give him the sign.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I just roll my eyes out loud? Which sounds like... That's what it sounds like. Eyes rolling.
Had this in the Alex and Mari wedding.
Yeah.
You weren't on the stag do in Dublin, where the place we were staying at had this sign that said, "Did I just roll my eyes out loud?" But it was in the kitchen, just on its own. Unfathomably weird.
Chilling.
And no context, but just in the kitchen. Did I just roll my eyes out loud?
Sorry, is there someone there?
Yeah.
Awful shit. Thank you for sending us that.
Yeah.
Well, now it's time to go to the eye-rolling chamber of the Patreon.
Yeah, let's slip into
the
something
VIP chamber. Let's go there. Thank you very much for listening, guys, to this Fringe episode. If you're still around. Also, KOJI, to all the BudPods who've come to see our shows.
Yeah,
we get lots of KOJIs on the way
so
out.
grateful and very nice to
really
have
nice.
you there. And you've all been really normal, which has been really nice.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
You're having the same revelation Phil had, which is how incredibly civilized and lovely all the BudPod listeners are.
Yeah.
Despite the terrible things we say.
Dark, awful things.
Yes. Send in your worm moments and your trickaloos and your tats.
I'm so glad people are getting on board with Trickaloos.
Yes, Trickaloo is great.
So fun.
It's setting the nation alight.
Yeah.
Pointless pranks that mean nothing when no one wins.
Even you don't gain from.
Yeah, perfect. That's what we'd like. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening. And KOJI.
KOJI.